cabinet reshuffle that has now been formally announced by the President of India, as advised by the Prime Minister, that has now been asked to direct the reallocation of the portfolios among those ministers in the Union Council of Ministers, and the portfolio now of the Ministry of Earth Sciences that has now been assigned to Kiren Rijiju, and Arjun Ram Meghwal, who is the Minister of State, who has been assigned the independent charge as the Minister of State in the Ministry of Law and Justice, in addition to his existing portfolios in the place of Kiren Rijiju. So Kiren Rijiju, who has now been replaced as the Union Law Minister by Arjun Ram Meghwal. And right now, Mohit, we are getting as far as the updates in his bio, his Twitter bio is also concerned. That has now been updated for now as far as Kiren Rijiju is concerned. Mohit.
Well, yes, in fact, it's a major cabinet reshuffle that has come to forth. Now, Arjun Ram Meghwal, who is also the MOS Culture and MOS Parliamentary Affairs, will now be the new Law Minister of the country. Kiren Rijiju, who was the earlier Law Minister, has now been made the Minister for Earth and Sciences. Now, it's seen as a massive cabinet reshuffle in run-up to the 2024 elections. And Amita, it was being expected that the cabinet reshuffle will take place. It was expected it will take place in March and April, and the new faces could be inducted in the cabinet, and specifically from the states where elections are scheduled to happen in later part of the year, specifically from Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, and hence it comes in line with that, because you see it's a very subtle message that is also behind the appointment of Arjun Ram Meghwal as the Law Minister of the country. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi a few days ago went to Rajasthan and officially sounded the bugle for the Rajasthan elections, and Arjun Ram Meghwal has been an IAS officer from the Rajasthan cadre. He's a prominent SC face, scheduled caste face from the BJP in Rajasthan, and somebody who is from Rajasthan, who also already has the two portfolios, being elevated as the Law Minister of the country. The messaging from the BJP is that specifically targeting a particular community, and also making people of Rajasthan realize that yes, people of Rajasthan have an important composition when it comes to the cabinet of the country, and that is why the political message behind this should not be mixed. Now, when it comes to Kiren Rijiju, he has now been relieved from his post as the Law Minister, but he is now the Minister for Earth and Sciences, which was earlier with Dr. Jitendra Singh. Dr. Jitendra Singh still has the portfolio as MOS, PMO, and
Mohit, just interrupting you, Ms. Priyanka Chaturvedi ji is with us here on the phone line. Ma'am, good morning to you. What do you make of this reshuffle, ma'am?
Well, I think the Prime Minister it is his responsibility to ensure the government runs the wages, and chooses the responsibility he gives to the cabinet ministers, and the reshuffle is his prerogative. However, it does raise questions about how this entire reshuffle has happened, and also speaks of the government perhaps feeling let down by Kiren Rijuju for not being able to do a job that they expected him to do, which is to undermine the judiciary. We saw how they were at conflict at all points in time, whether it is with regards to the collegial system, whether it was about the appointment of judges. We've seen a conflict of interest happening. So that is, I think that's the price he has paid for not being able to, justify his presence in the cabinet without getting the targets set for him.
Right, because there are important state witnesses that are also lined up, but just a year before these elections that are now taking place, is the timing is something that you have been questioning as far as this reshuffle, and that too of the two ministers in particular that have taken place, Ms. Chaturvedi?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Whatever narrative that they might try to change around the country, the people of the nation are aware that this government has totally tried to undermine all agencies. They were on their way to undermine even the judicial setup, is now has come undone with the Karnataka election. So whatever narratives that they might try and set by bringing in Arjun Ram Meghwal, who happens to be from Rajasthan, it is not going to change the minds of the people. And the biggest thing, the setback that the government has seen, is in their attempt to protect Adani Group. They have failed spectacularly with SEBI creating an embarrassment every single day. The Maharashtra judgment also categorically has called the government illegal and unconstitutional based on the foundation of unconstitutionality. So all the embarrassments that they have faced due to their belief that they can undermine every system has now gone ahead in the minds of the people.
All right. Ms. Chaturvedi, thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast, ma'am. So, Mohit, as we are picking up also on the reactions coming in from the opposition side, because they are certainly questioning the timing. And as far as the role here of Kiren Rijiju is concerned, either to be taken as of a demotion or rather as an elevation, or to be taken a completely different ministry, because even if we talk about the Ministry of Earth Sciences, that is also equally important.
Well, Amita, yes, you can say that he's not being shunted from the ministry. He's being made the Minister of Earth and Sciences. But when it comes to the Law Ministry, comparison of Law Ministry and Ministry of Earth and Sciences, Law Ministry is something which has more weightage. Now, we'll not go into the specifics that why this decision was being taken as per the opposition allegation, because opposition has been leveling allegations against Kiren Rijiju, and there are lots of reactions coming in. But when it comes to the weightage that the ministry has, it's always that the Law Ministry has the more weightage when it comes to the Ministry of Earth and Sciences. And Earth and Sciences was already with Dr. Jitendra Singh, who already had the two portfolios as MOSPMO and Donier. But it's a massive elevation for the Arjun Ram Meghwal. The political message could also be seen behind this, because Arjun Ram Meghwal is from Rajasthan, and he's also the MOS Parliamentary Affairs Summit, and we have seen that how he was always seen in the Parliament with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was somebody
who was
always...
interrupting you once again. Mr. Shogata Roy is with us here on the broadcast, sir. Good morning to you. What do you make of this reshuffle, sir, that has now been announced by the Government of India? Mr. Shogata Roy?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Mr. Shogata Roy, can you hear me, sir?
Huh?
All right, we just reconnect that line as we are trying to get as many reactions that are possible on this story, as this is just broken as far as the information that came in. Because Mohit, even as the Minister of Law and Justice, Kiren Rijiju was also responsible for the administration of justice in India. He was also responsible when it comes to drafting the legislation and the administration of the legal system. And he has also been a vocal critic of when it comes to the NRC and the Citizenship Amendment Act. And he has also been very critical of the Supreme Court's decision to strike down Section 377 from the IPC.
Well, you see, Kiren Rijuju, as a law minister, had made various statements, but whether those statements were taken into the consideration when this decision was taken, that we still don't know. And we will not go in specifics of that, because the messaging in a cabinet reshuffle more is of the political messaging, because these are the allegations that have coming in from the opposition parties, and they have been very critical of Kiren Rijuju's statement, various statements that Kiren Rijiju have made, and as you were mentioning them. But if you talk about the political message, somebody from Rajasthan who is being elevated as the law minister of the country will send out to the people a message to the people of Rajasthan that Rajasthan has
I believe Mr. Manikam Tagore is also with us here on the broadcast. Of course, I know you must be very busy with what's happening in Karnataka now, but first off, if you want to respond and react on this reshuffle that has now been announced by the Government of India, sir.
This is the prerogative of the Honorable Prime Minister. Prime Minister can't choose anybody as minister. But this was an expected line that the President Mr. Kiren Rijiju, who has become a failed law minister, particularly because of the way he was being used by his loose statements against the judiciary, has given a wrong impression across the judicial community itself. And because the executive and legislature and the judiciary are three important pillars, and it can't clash with each other. This kind of loose statement by the law minister, who has just been a troll. He was only trolling Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and he was not working as a law minister itself. It's an expected line that a failed minister has been moved out. But the surprising for me is that how he has been moved out to the Earth Sciences. Earth Sciences is a future ministry, and it's a very important ministry, and he should not have he should hope that Kiren Rijiju will concentrate on the ministry and do his jobs. And the government is having a lack of talent in the government. We can see that it is only the ex-officers, IPS officers, IAS officers, and IAS officers in the cabinet more in the number.
All right.
Plus, the talent deficit. So we can see another officer moving in.
Well, we'll see and wait for a reaction officially that may come from the government of India on this reshuffle, sir. Mr. Tagore, thank you very much for your point of view. So Kiren Rijiju, who was serving as the 34th Cabinet Minister of the Law and Justice in the Modi ministry back since 2021. And now Arjun Ram Meghwal has now been announced as the new Union Law Minister in the country by the government of India.